Hey, welcome back to the Virgo Channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Note that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. I want to thank all my new subscribers, my old subscribers. I appreciate you. I do. I love all your comments and I do read them. A little far behind on picking the winner of the day. Please be patient with me. I'm going through a lot right now at home, with my husband's health and all, you guys know. So I do love you guys. I'm just, like I said, a little overwhelmed right now. So, but there's always an opportunity to enter into winning a free reading with me. Even if I don't get it now, I can guarantee there's going to be a time very soon that I am going to be on here all the time because I know my husband's going to pass. And whenever, you know, we go through a transition that's turbulent, it's best to get through it through keeping your focus on something, right? That's how we get to be grounded in doing. It's kind of like that poem Footprints, where it was spirit that got you through the difficult time. It's like because you were in the passion for your life. And you guys, again, this what I do is I am passionate about it. I love you guys all, and I love what I do. And so that's what it's about, right? To keep our vibration high. It's to be able to connect with other like-minded beings. That's what gives you support. That's what gives you love. That's how the universe brings me support during this difficult time. Because when you come from a home that has a lot of trauma, there's no support. It's every man for himself. Everyone lives in survival mode. Everybody has behaviorisms and habits that are blocking them from being able to have an open heart. And it's because too much betrayal from the past. So that energy makes it very difficult to have relationships. And the reason why is because you go into a relationship looking for problems and you've been conditioned to not believe you can have a lot of times. Those of you that are new to my channel know I talk about the shadows. I talk about the karmic themes that play out within your experiences. That's what I mean when I say I like to go in deep. I like to look at everything, but I like to go in deep because we want to know why we are a magnet to certain energies. We want to know how to stop karmic cycles that keep us in a place of limitation and lack. That's what we want to know. If the universe is abundant and God is the universe and that energy is inside of me, how do I make that energy work for me that I'm in alignment with the laws of God, the laws of love, the laws of the universe, and the laws of nature? How the frick do I make it work? And it's through your consciousness. We all are born into environments that create imbalances. And these imbalances, again, they'll play out as karmic themes to help us to create awareness. Problem is that a lot of times we don't learn. What happens is we begin to perceive that there's something wrong with us, that we need something outside of ourselves to feel fulfilled in life, where really you don't. That's the symbolism of the Magician Tarot card. It's that you have everything that you need to make your life work. But we all go through life not seeing that. We focus on our problems. We focus on on the things that don't work. We try to change the things that don't work. Where the universe, there's a flow to go with the flow of life. So once we integrate the spiritual lesson, we're able to transcend the limitations of our mind, and then we can create our own heaven on earth because the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. Your heaven on earth is not going to be the same as mine. And that's the promise. That's your spiritual sovereignty. That's your gift. So let's see what is going on in your connection. What does it all mean? Why do we want to know? We want to know because our relationships a lot of times are not working out. Money is like, again, there's a limitation here. There's a block, and it keeps you in a place of fear. And that's not God. God is unconditional love. The shadow parts of self and the parts of yourself that you have detached from, we are all about integrating. Integration is, again, looking at those broken pieces and seeing where you can utilize them in your life. That's what it's about. Disgust. So, well, you know what? I feel like you're in separation from someone that's like disgusted, and they're disgusted about themselves. And it's almost like it's about time. And that's the energy there. It's like almost, it took a long time. Person had a big ego where they didn't want to see things from a balanced perception. And a balanced perception is that everybody, regardless of what happens, contributes to the undesirable life experiences that play out. There's never one person that does it. We all contribute. It's that because our perception, and our perception makes us feel, well, if you feel we're triggered to be in a place of survival, you're going to react. And I feel like this person didn't see how they reacted, how they took out on you a lot of things from their past relationship. They weren't aware of it. And so they're disgusted because they see that they acted like an arrogant, self-righteous ass. And that it's almost like, how do you come back from that? How do you come back from that? And also, I feel like this person deliberately didn't show you anything. And didn't show you anything because, again, they have an emotional block of not being able to show their emotions, which a lot of times happens from trauma. People are not emotionally intelligent, so they don't know how to react or respond or pick up on cues that people often give to, tell people something without verbally telling them. It's like almost like having company over, and it's way past the time that they should have went home at 8 o'clock at night. When they came over at maybe like 7 o'clock, not no, like maybe like 5 o'clock, let's just say. um 5 hours, 4 hours, if they're not a close friend. I'm saying like it's just something that's acquaintance, and the person's staying at your house, and it's like going on 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're giving them hints that it's time for them to go. It's time for them to go, and they're just not getting it. It's kind of like that's this person. This person looks back now, and I feel like they look back now because you cut your energy off, and you didn't just cut your energy off, but this person is is self-righteous, but they do have feelings, and the feeling is like, I'm curious about your life. And I think for a long time they didn't think that your life was better. They didn't see your vision. They didn't know you. They misjudged you. And it's like, and that's what happens when you are talking to a bunch of people and you are not emotionally invested in any of those people. It's when you're coming from a very selfish standpoint. That's why this person is not in that space now, where they were in this real player energy at one time, mainly because they got hurt. And I think once they had gotten hurt, they vowed, I'm never going to fall in love again. I'm never going to let anyone do that to me again. And so with that, the person then tries to, they compensate. So they're not acting from their heart. They're not acting from their truth. Like, we can feel that. You can feel a person's authenticity when it's real. You may not like the person, but you can still say, well, this is what it is. Where this person was arrogant, they didn't care. And that's the energy there. So it's almost like, again, how do I come back from that? So, and even as a friend, I feel like, listen, for some, they feel like the relationship is so destroyed. The best that they can do is come back and offer friendship. The best that they can do is come back and offer. It's like almost like this person doesn't know how to deal with their situation. And you may say, oh, that never happens. That never happens. Well, it does happen because God uses people to grow the soul. The universe conspires to bring you everything you need. That doesn't mean that it's easy. A lot of times, if you need a lot of healing, you get a lot of people that don't treat you very nice. I had that happen, where a lot of people perceive me the way that I had shown them unconsciously. So again, this person doesn't trust themselves. Coming from survival, you're not grounded anymore. You're thinking about what might happen, what could happen, what did happen, what may happen. And it's like you're not. So what happens is the person gets triggered because they have a spiritual block, and they react. And then they create that mask and they live from that mask. And so it's very, very unfortunately, it becomes very like narcissistic energy. And it's really because the underlying energy is fear, right? There's only two energies, love and fear. And then what happens is a lot of times is victimhood comes with that hopelessness because the overthinking, the fight, flight, or freeze, and what can I do? And so they tend to get in very codependent relationships because they don't trust themselves. So they don't really know why their relationships go the way that they go. But when we look at the triggers within inside of you, it was like, okay, I felt like I was forgotten about, like it wasn't important. I didn't matter. Again, this is the overcompensation within that second chakra when a person deliberately goes out of their way to make sure that you get the message that you don't, but they don't do it a little bit or subtly because that's not really what they mean. The person that really does it, that really doesn't like you, they do it subtly. They do it extremely subtly, where there's always this underlining energy like, does this person not like me? Where this person like did it like where it's like your birthday, I'm not gonna I'm not even gonna say happy birthday to you. Like it was the extreme. And again, but that did make you feel forgotten about, but it was like I think it triggered more spiritual blocks that you had than it really like from this person. It was more again that seems to be a karmic theme that you're forgotten, that your feelings don't matter. And it's almost like this is you where you're like, I had a hard time in the past and the fears associated with it. So they always manifest in the chaos in a relationship. And I feel like that's the same as this person. You're a magnet and who and what. So both parties go into the relationship looking for a problem. Right? They don't do it unconsciously, right? It's a survival mechanism. And if you don't have other things in your life, other distractions in your life, that's what life becomes. And it's not done purpose, but then understand you're no longer in the present, you're in survival mode, and then you're reactionary. So everything that's taken is taken the wrong way. It's being heard through a filter that is distorting what is being said because it's being heard through the wound. The same thing emotionally. So it's amplified. It's amplified and it hurts those emotional wounds because it's like it's also the feeling of I can never have. It's maybe I'm never gonna have love. I'm never gonna be able to have that type of intimacy that I want to be able to have. Where again, it's like if this person deliberately went out of their way to make it like you don't matter to me because the amount of attention and money and it was spent on everything else, including hobbies, came before you. So again, I think this person was trying to make themselves look how important I am. Remember, the ego's running the show. When there you have shadows, the ego's running the show. It's going to amplify those behaviorisms. So look how important I am. Look how many things I'm invested in. And no, you're not invited because I'm seeing somewhere else. Again, they're like trying to create the illusion, and that is really, again, where of course you're gonna feel like an asshole. That's what you're gonna feel like sitting there, like, are we in a relationship, or like, am I just like, that's what this person like, and this person was only like looking at what they were doing from their own consciousness and their imagination of what they perceived that the reaction that you were going to get. But it's not reality, and it's not their reality either. It's a made up reality to make themselves feel better. So again, in the imagination, we don't really know what it is. This is kind of like fake it till you make it, and it's a fail. That's the energy. But people, again, they create these personas because of the lack and limitation that they feel about themselves, that they don't feel lovable. But really, it's like we all have love inside. Enough. And you were like, I had enough of, I think just enough of everything. Like, this is a bad temper, but I feel like the person would get triggered, like I said. So you were like, everything was taken the wrong way. Everything, like, you didn't hear, like, with the little amount of time that I have with you, it's not pleasant. It's kind of like, why am I gonna spend time around somebody that is so arrogant and not really letting me into your world? But I'm here. I like have this weird place, which is compartmentalizing, which a lot of people that have trauma do. They're like, oh no, never going to fall in love again. But the way that that's going to happen is I'm going to control you. And that's again very narcissistic energy, because not that person's not thinking about you as a person. They're thinking about you more like you're like a thing. And it's not even an extension of them, because at least they'd be treating you like they're treating themselves, but which is not really good either. But it's more or less like, I want you in my life, but I don't want you to get a big head. I don't want you to get ahead of yourself. I don't want you to have a big ego where you think that I'm gonna just, just give in to you. So I'm gonna treat you like shit, And it's like, where, I don't know. It's like, and then on top of it, it's like, wait, if you're not spending the time with me and your past relationship, like, I feel like this person always cheated, which goes with everything else that this person is doing. It's again, when people don't have a real emotional connection, which that only happens through giving time. It's like the passion, after a while, the passion's gone, right? And so what happens is this person cheats. And then if you are actually on a high vibration, which again, narcissists tend to like people that are perceived as better than them. But then if they're not getting the time and the attention, which that would never fulfill them how much you could give, and they wouldn't want it either just from one person, because it's the narcissist wants to be with someone that the ego is associates with status, an important status, something that's pleasing to them. This person doesn't feel good about them, right? They're creating the illusion. So that's number one. And then number two, emotionally, they're too afraid to get close. So what happens is like this person like it begins to look at other people, and whether it's emotionally or whether it's really, really cheating one way or the other, they're not never present. And they're never present in the relationship, because when you have severe trauma of what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Why are you going to do it? And you're always in your head with the chatter. It's like it's a drain of energy. It makes you tired. It makes you lethargic, because your nervous system literally is in fight, flight, or freeze. And you're releasing these chemicals, what hormones, I should say, that actually the epinephrine, like, and the cortisol, the amount, it actually feels like alcohol, like as if you drank a lot, and it makes you sleepy, it makes you tired because you're drained. And so, because you don't feel good about yourself, so you have to then go out and artificially get that serotonin fix. And so an unhealthy way is to, again, emotionally cheat, because again, it's a way of escaping. Is a way of escaping what the real shadow is. That's how you know the person still needs healing. So then you're like, problem is, if you're attached to someone like that, it's like, okay, you're not letting me into your life, but it's almost like you have two separate lives. The person makes you feel as if they have two separate lives. One that possibly there can be other people, right? And invited. Sorry, that's my dog. Have company coming over. Okay, so let's see. Again, some spiritual blocks. Again, the attitude, this person feels attitude. They just feel like they're in a world of their own. And the thing is, anybody that's connected to them is obviously going to feel the way that they feel about themselves, because this person doesn't have an identity. They create more of personas. Again, either overcompensating or undercompensating within their behaviorisms due to whatever they perceive, feel, again, navigating psychically, but those wounds are really what distorting this person's perception. So again, and again, what we said, just inconsistent, like that, not really letting you into their life, giving you just enough that you'll hold on, just enough, almost as if you're like, you're being trained. Being with someone like this is gonna actually make you feel like you're on a roller coaster. Like one day they're treating you good, the next day they're treating you bad, they're not around, the next day, so you never know what you're gonna get. So there's always this trigger of abandonment with them, because they again aren't grounded. See, the key is to remember a person that is inconsistent usually feels uncomfortable with themselves. And then what happens is that they see you as, even if they have feelings, they know that you'll have expectations. They know that you'll want something. So the expectation of them acting a certain way, showing up for themselves, is usually what the problem is. So they won't let you be comfortable because they don't want you to have expectations. So that's where the inconsistency comes from. But I feel like, and then that thing, it's like it keeps you like stuck, like really like, is this person for real or are they not? Like, it's not where you have peace, not even when the person's not around you, because it's always in the back of your mind. Are you cheating? What are you doing? So I feel like it's like, and that's how you wind up staying in a place of fight, flight, or freeze, because you can't be relaxed, at ease, right? How does disease created? Again, it can't be at ease if I'm in survival mode. And that when we are connected to a person that's inconsistent, that has a lot of issues of their own, well, this is how you get their baggage. Now, we always still want to know what the person cares about us, just because, listen, we all have that ego, or if they don't care about us, at least are they suffering? like, or what does that person really think? There was something interfering in our relationship. So again, this person you felt like was just always cheating. So obviously the other people are always going to be fighting for this person's attention, because it's not like they're giving that person anything either. It's that they're breadcrumbing everyone. So obviously the person that's going to fight more for this person, make this person feel better, build themselves up, well, that's where their attention's going to go. And that's why you're haunted. You're like, how did I not see it? How did I thought that we were more important than that. If this has nothing to do with you, that's the thing. It's to remember. It has to do with, please forgive me. So this person, like, I feel like they do have a connection, but I love you. Well, now it's like taking a turn, unhealthy attachments. So it's like, I feel like because you took your energy away, that this person would want to come in and would be, and does have like a spiritual connection, but this person, I don't think wants to evolve. They're not looking to evolve at all because of the unhealthy attachment. They would rather come in and be like, and create that. Like, a trauma bond is an unhealthy attachment, which is, I want things my way. Though we do have a spiritual connection, it's just more of a sick karmic connection. So it's not the fact that this person doesn't have feelings, that they're not healthy. So again, I feel like, yeah, they don't like the fact that they lost their power. That's really what it is. It's like they feel that they lost their power. Okay, so they're almost like and it's really like unlikely that they would change. See, I knew it. I was like, how is it that I love you, this and that? It's like they do, but the way that a narcissist loves. So they wouldn't really be looking to change, I'm very unlikely. It's more or less like when you're with a narcissist and you take your power back, if they can't, that's telling them a different narrative than what they want to see. Remember, they live behind the mask, and that mask is anything that's going to make them look better, appear better, feel better about themselves, whatever the persona is. And they will use anything in their path to do it, to become it. So I feel like you just taking your power back, being like, listen, I had enough. I had enough of your bad temper. I had enough of your like be feeling more alone. No, with you, I just had enough. And this person's like, well, would say I would come back and say, I love you. I've changed. I want to make it work. They would make you perceive it. Please forgive me. They could tell a lot of good lip service, but very unlikely that they would change. Very unlikely, because they haven't done any of the healing. So this is like, again, their behaviorism. They have to heal they have to heal themselves. This is a prime example of someone that has never done any healing, might have been brought up by a narcissist themselves, didn't get enough love, or they might have been, anything, can trigger the abandonment, major abandonment, but some major trauma happens to this person. And until they actually address it and do the healing, they will always look for something outside of them to feel whole. And whatever it is, they will just take and drain, and then again on to the next, is what I feel like, because this person learned how to survive. They feel inadequate. No, until you fix that, the only person that you're really ever going to attract is someone that doesn't know what their worth is, right? And then it's so it's outlived, but then, or for that person, that innocent person that didn't know what their worth was, it collapses their life. It's like the person might have to spend the rest of their life trying to fix their life from being with such a person, because that narcissist will drain everything. So it's a whole having to heal the body, mind, and spirit, and literally build your life back on the physical realm. So it's a big thing. So this is a good thing that you detach, because like I said, I feel like the person is looking to come back, but they're not genuine. Or if they are, they're just Lulu. They're because they can't just come back without doing the actual work. And that's what you know too. And I think it really bothers you to be like, how come I didn't see it? How come I didn't see it? It's like it was right there. So we always ask Spirit, oh, why did you attract this person into your life? You're a magnet for what comes into your life. You always want to know, again, what was the point of this connection? Was it to torture me? No, it was to help you evolve. The universe helps you evolve by bringing you people and situations that are going to help you see things differently. And unfortunately, we learn through pain. We most likely learn through pain. And that's people say there is no God. Well, in actuality, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, that's when Spirit said, well, now you're going to learn, and you're going to learn through pain and suffering. And you're going to learn through, because you ate from the tree of knowledge. When you ate from the tree of knowledge, you had to learn about death. You had to learn about things that I was protecting you from living in the Garden of Eden. So we are all descendants of Adam and Eve, and we're born into families that have karma. We born into societies that have karma, and these karmic experiences play out. And it's all to help us evolve, to heal, to grow, to again really be able to understand what the expression of unconditional love is, because we all put our own expectations on it. We all have our own perceptions of what we believe that it is. And when really Spirit says organized chaos, that's first card out. Confusion is second card out. Don't mind the person in the back that's dying. I don't know if you hear the person that's choking. Okay, then gifts. Sometimes we uncover our gifts and our and other things, talents that we have that we weren't even aware, that we begin to really learn about ourselves when we begin to do our healing. So it's like gifts that you might have always had, but you didn't really utilize. And one more, which is time and attention. Well, again, these are the inner child wounds. So our inner child wounds, when they're not healed, we then form behaviorism. So I feel like you have anxious attachment style, and you always attract that avoidant, anxious attachment style. And that's someone that's a runner. That's someone that has a hard time communicating. That's someone that's not emotionally intelligent. And here it is that you didn't get enough time and attention. You grew up where love was kind of confusing, and so could have grown up with a parent that had a lot of anxiety. So it came across as if they were angry all the time. So they perceived that they were angry at you all the time. And so feeling comfortable around relationships is difficult. I mean, organized chaos means just kind of like that. It's like everything got done, but is it done where we're going with the flow, or is it done where we're forcing it? Is it done where we feel all chaotic? Like, well, again, that's someone that's very manic is the energy, and that's when we're living in survival mode. So I feel like you grew up in survival mode. And now whether the parent just had anxiety and there was, or whether there was really stuff going on. Remember, our parents, my great grandparents, they didn't have healing. They didn't know. So did they, every little thing trigger them because they had trauma that they didn't heal from? And so here it is, you're living in that person's reality, unfortunately, and everything is a trigger to them. So now you're a trigger. And so you begin to feel like you're not loved. But it really is that the parent loves you a lot. They just have a lot of anxiety. So the organized chaos is everything got done, but it was always done very chaotically. And that made you feel not good about yourself. So you actually detached and disassociated. Detachment is that you are no longer in your body. It's almost like you're watching yourself. There's a numbness to that when you're in fight, flight, or freeze for long periods of time. It's that you, again, that's the energy. And so disassociation is knowing that you went through the experience, but not remember pieces of the experience, and there's no emotional feeling because you feel numb. And the way that we process information is not just through the mind, but how what we feel. And so again, it was very confusing for you because you don't know, like have a feeling and you're in survival mode, and then you're feeling inadequate and you don't know why things are. So you're not forming the appropriate attachment style to either one of your parents. And mainly because when you have that, whether it's just anxious attachment, that's someone that's going to be needy, someone that's going to need some more emotional attention, someone that just never got it and just needs that. And or you're connected to someone that's avoidant, you know, anxious, and that they never show up for you emotionally. They don't know how. You know that they have feelings for you. Might have a spiritual connection, but they just never do. There's always a shortness. So if you grew up in with parents like that, then it was a very codependent type of relationship, and that is what a trauma bond is over time. It's like both people hate each other, but they also need each other. And so that is a very unhealthy attachment. There's a lot of like there may be love, but it's like it's very intertwined with pain. And so I feel like both the parents then can't really 100% be there for you because emotionally they can't be there for themselves. So everyone has to heal their trauma in order to really fully be present, to really fully be there. So it felt like because that was how you grew up, there is this space of, again, where when you detach and you dissociate, you begin to go into the psychic realm, and the psychic realm is more of the mind, it's more of the imagination. So you become no longer grounded. So I feel like you found your gifts. Partially was your intuitive gifts, but I also feel like for a lot of you, you survived through going to friends' houses, through doing other things. And so that like gave you again no real time and attention with your family that should have been nurturing you, should have been giving you that grounding to make you feel safe, to make you feel supported, to make you feel loved. So this is your connection to this person. Understand that it's what's familiar. So again, the energies are very familiar. So where I feel like you recognized it obviously because you were like, this person is not treating me well. And it's making me feel that way, which means that you've done healing and you recognize that you were able to stop it, which that's not what this person is used to. That's why they're pissed off. That's why they're going to come back and be like, oh, yeah, you think you're going to get away from me? Where it's like, yeah, because you're not going to fall for it, and but that's what it is. They're not happy. It's like they have like feelings for you, but almost like I own you. See, which again, attachment. There is no ownership. There is no expectation with the unconditional love. The energy of the divine is that of I just love you. I don't know why I love you because God knows you're a mess, but I love you anyway. This is not that. This is, if I can't have you, no one will. It's much different, believe me. It's one that's scary. Scary. And one that's full of pain, to be honest with you. It makes you sick. So we end off with here and now. Again, what did I say? It's about being in the present moment. The future does not exist. Does not. And the past is gone. I focus on the present moment, because only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut, intuition, inner knowing. That's how you know that the Holy Spirit's inside of you. I have confidence in life again, because here and now, there is no danger. Everything happens when my soul is ready. Because when the teacher is ready, the teacher is ready. No, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When the teacher is ready, well, again, I guess when the teacher is ready too, the student will appear, because that teacher will learn from the student. But what the whole point is what Spirit is saying is only in the now do you get divine guidance, and you're not in charge of the path of how we get to success or whatever you want to create. It's to be like childlike. It's to imagine what it is that you want, and then to do it the best way you know how, and no one really knows what the hell they're doing. Believe me, they're all figuring it out on the job. And it's you become it because you embody that energy. It's the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you have, and it's through being grounding and becoming yourself. So again, that you are safe. What jumps out at me is I have confidence in life again, because here and now there is no danger. So growing up in survival mode, again, that chaos, organized chaos, as things got done, but I didn't feel safe. It was very confusing. It's like, and really, this is that energy too of like, I still am haunted by that trauma that still comes in. And yeah, I did find my gifts because I had to escape from that trauma. So you uncovered in the time that this person was no longer in your life, not just the wounds and the trauma that you needed to heal, but I feel like you integrated the spiritual lesson, which is why another reason why you're like, no, I'm able to let you go, and why you're the one that's holding the shit bag. You're the one that's feeling bad now because I took my power back. And that's karma. And that's how people pay karma. Because a lot of times I hear on here, well, it seems like they just go on and they have a good life and nothing affects them. It's like, that's the karma. It's not like this person didn't have feelings. The feelings are distorted through this person's mind and what they tell themselves, and it's the ego. And the ego is going to, again, make this person believe certain things, hears everything through the wounds, sees everything through the wounds, perceives everything through the wounds. And that's why I said not until they really fully integrate themselves, those spiritual blocks, they'll never be able to be in a relationship, not the one that's healthy. They'll always want to shoot for the best of the best because of how shitty they feel about themselves, but they won't be able to maintain that type of relationship. They won't be able to hold that vibration. And what bothers this person is they see that you can, and that you moved away. And that to me is the best revenge. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonated. I love you all. Bye.